Study magnetic fields, magnetic materials, first part. Series on electromagnetic field theory, lecture number 2.30. Magnetism is a phenomena connected with magnetic moments of atoms. Atoms in certain materials, they possesses strong magnetic moments. They start behaving like magnetic dipoles due to magnetic moment contributions from the particles that are there inside them, like electrons, protons, neutrons, etc. In some materials, the moments of the dipoles, atomic dipoles, they are aligned. In some materials, they are in opposite directions if we consider dipoles that are there side by side. In some materials, the dipole moments of various atomic dipoles, they are oriented in a random fashion. In the present session, our focus is on how the magnetic moments of the dipoles, atomic dipoles, that are there in the material, how it is connected to magnetism, how it determines the nature of the magnet. All these aspects we consider in the present session. What is magnetism? Materials that get attracted towards a magnet, by definition, they are magnetic. Example, iron, nickel, cobalt. These materials are called magnetic because they get attracted towards a magnet. Materials that are not attracted towards a magnet, they are non-magnetic. Rubber, coins, feather, leather, these are all examples for non-magnetic materials. Magnetism is a class of physical phenomena that are mediated by magnetic fields. This phenomena is known to mankind since ancient times, from at least 2500 years back. In addition to electric currents, magnetic movements of atoms in the materials also cause magnetic fields, which acts on other currents and magnetic moments. The revolution and spin of electrons and nuclear spin, they are considered as the main contributors to the atomic magnetic moment. Magnetic materials, they are governed by magnetic moment, atomic magnetic moment, which is contributed by revolution, spin, nuclear spin of electrons and all. The contribution of nucleus is insignificant and negligible. The atomic moment then is made up of dipole moments of all the revolving and spinning electrons. It is a relative magnitudes of spin and orbital moments of atoms and the orientation of atomic moments that actually decide the magnetic behavior of the material. So spin and orbital moments of the electrons in the atom. Okay. When an object has net magnetic moment, then it is said to be magnetized and it gives rise to its own magnetic field in its surroundings, equal to the sum of fields due to surface current and volume current. To analyze magnetic materials, the concept of magnetic dipole and dipole moments are highly useful. What is magnetic dipole? A small circular loop of radius A. Radius A, small circular loop, radius A, carrying current I is often called magnetic dipole. And product of its area with current pi A square I is known as dipole magnetic moment. See, dipole, magnetic dipole. We have electric dipoles also, which was introduced in electrostatics. The concept of electric dipole, it was found highly useful in analyzing dielectric materials. In the same way, magnetic dipole, this concept you can find being highly useful in the analysis of magnetic materials. Magnetic dipole exhibits similarity with the electric dipole in several ways. Electric dipole is a stationary charge distribution, whereas magnetic dipole is a steady current distribution. As it is a current loop, it produces magnetic field which can be computed. First, vector potential is calculated from current distribution and then from it the field intensity. So current is I. From this current, A is calculated from A H. Del cross A equal to mu H. Using this relation, one can find the current in the loop using impulse function can be expressed. It's a laborious process finding finding potential from the current is an involved process. The starting point is the current is expressed I current delta is impulse function rho prime minus a multiplied by delta z prime phi cap when the current is in xy plane. Here current is located in the xy plane. Observation point is P. He is here. It is at a radial distance of r. Polar angle is theta. First, current is required to be expressed in an analytical form. Magnetic dipole placed in a coordinate system. These are field produced by the dipole. See, this is the current loop. This is flux line representation of the field. The magnetic moment of dipole by definition is, this is the definition. M is the symbol. It is a vector quantity. That's why boldface by definition it is equal to I integral dA. dA is differential area. Here we consider the area as A. Therefore, current area. The vector potential due to magnetic dipole can be found. Here the process is not shown, entire process, only result is being given. For the dipole which is under consideration, for that magnetic vector potential is mu naught by 4 pi. M is of course current multiplied by area r cap by r square. Once A is available, H B can be computed within no time. H is M by 4 pi 1 by r cube 2 cos theta r cap plus r sin theta theta cap. So this entire expression can be put in in terms of magnetic moment also. Then this is the expression. If you multiply this fellow with mu, you will be getting B dipole. So only difference between these two is mu is absent in B. Now some information is being provided regarding magnetic dipole. So by definition, it has certain magnetic moment. It is I into A. Units are ampere meter square. Vector potential for the dipole is given by this formula. This is magnetic flux density. When you place this dipole, see there is a region where field is there, magnetic field is there. If you place this dipole in the field, what happens? If it is uniform, what happens? If it is non-uniform, what happens? If the external field is uniform, then what happens? If it is non-uniform, then what happens? This information is provided here. Note when the dipole is in non-uniform field, it experiences both force and torque. Torque means effort to rotate. Rotational effort is torque. Whereas when it is in a uniform field, it experiences only torque. Non-uniform means both. Uniform means only torque. A comparison between magnetic dipole and electric dipole is given. Dipole moment in this case is current multiplied by area. Here it is distance multiplied by charge. Direction is normal to current loop. So if current is like this, normal to current loop is direction of magnetic dipole. The direction of electric dipole is from negative to positive charge. Potential is given by this expression mu naught by 4 pi m cross r cap by r square. But here it is p dot r cap by 4 pi epsilon r square. Certain similarity can be noticed between the expressions. Field, when it comes to field, this is magnetic field, this is electric field. Notice the similarity. Here it is r cube. Here also it is r cube, inversely proportional to r cube. Torque, as already mentioned, it experiences torque when it is placed in field. Torque is given by m cross b. Here it is p cross e. It experiences force too when it is placed in non-uniform field. It is given by grad m dot b. Here it is given by p dot delta E. When an external magnetic field is applied to a material, net alignment of magnetic dipoles inside the material occurs, resulting in, before going further, one or two important points. Magnetization is due to atomic dipoles that exist inside the materials. Only certain materials, they have atomic dipoles. These atomic dipoles, they are associated with certain magnetic moments. These moments, magnetic moments, mainly they are due to spin and revolution of the orbital electrons. Now, let us move further. When an external magnetic field B is applied to a material, a net alignment of magnetic dipoles inside material occurs, resulting in magnetization of the material parallel to B. In such case, those materials are called paramagnetic. Magnetization opposing to B. In such case, they are called diamagnetic. Retention of substantial magnetization indefinitely even after external field has been removed. Then they are called ferromagnetic. Paramagnetic, diamagnetic, ferromagnetic. So three types of materials here. Certain other types of magnetic materials are also there. We study about them later. Field of a magnetized object is the same as that which would be produced by a volume current density Jb given by curl M throughout the material plus surface current Kb M cross del on the boundary. So what he is trying to tell is, let us suppose there is a magnet. Surrounding this magnet, there exists magnetic field. It is not difficult to understand. So surrounding DC carrying conductor also magnetic field exists. Now you concentrate on magnets, magnetic materials. This is magnetic material. Surrounding this fellow magnetic field exists. This field is same as that which would be produced by volume current density, a volume current density plus a surface current density. What is the volume current density? Volume current density is del cross M or curl M. M is magnetization. Magnetization is magnetic moment per unit volume. If you consider a unit volume of the magnetic material, inside plenty of dipoles, each dipole is associated with a certain magnetic moment. Direction wise they may be same or different. By considering direction into consideration, if you add all the magnetic moments of all the dipoles that are there within one unit volume of the material, then that is magnetization. It is similar to polarization, which we come across in electrostatics. So field due to this fellow is sum of fields, one field due to volume current, another field due to surface current. There exist several types of magnetic materials. One simple division of these materials is into linear and non-linear. Linear materials are characterized by presence of magnetization M in proportion to the field. So M and H, they are related through Xm. It is called susceptibility, magnetic susceptibility, a dimensionless quantity. This fellow is related to mu R. Mu R minus 1 is Xm. Linear materials also exhibit proportionality between bound current and free current. To be specific, volume bound current density in the homogeneous linear material is proportional to volume free current density. Consider a magnetized object carrying some free current also. Then the total current J in the object becomes a sum of two currents, bound and free current. So what does it mean? Here is a magnetic material. Let us say certain voltage source. Let us say some voltage source is applied. So current enters. Some current flows. This current is free current. The current that is caused by the source is free current. Another current is also there. What is that current? This is magnetic material. So dipoles are there, and all these dipoles gives rise to certain currents inside. These currents are called bound currents. So we have two types of currents, bound current and free current. Total current is bound current plus free current. JB is bound current as a result of magnetization, and JF is a free current which can be considered everything other than that due to magnetization. Ampere's law then applied to such magnetized object becomes 1 by mu naught del cross B. Called B is J. This is Ampere's law. J is JF plus JB, but JB is del cross M. We have seen in case of linear magnetic, because it is magnetization. Magnetization and bound current, these two are related through del cross M. So a little bit of manipulation leads to 1 by mu naught B minus M equal to H, or del cross H equal to JF, or H dot dl. Closed loop is IF enclosed. IF means free current. So this is Ampere's law. Here what we are discussing is what happens to Ampere's law when magnetic materials are there in the region under consideration. In case of linear magnetic materials, M equal to psi m, JB equal to, therefore del cross M equal to psi m del cross H. So JB is psi m JF. So B equal to mu naught H plus M, or B equal to mu naught H plus M becomes equal to mu naught 1 plus psi m H, or B equal to mu H, mu equal to mu naught 1 plus psi m. From this I can say mu r equal to 1 plus psi m. In case of isotropic magnetic materials, direction of B is the same as direction of applied magnetic field. Several types of divisions are there. One division is into isotropic and non-isotropic. In case of isotropic, direction of B is same as applied field H. There is another class of linear magnetic materials known as anisotropic magnetic materials. In this type, induced magnetization vector M is not in the direction of H. The permeability of such material is not just a single constant, instead it is a tensor. It's a 3 by 3 matrix. So mu, this is mu. Mu is now tensor. The relationship between B and H in such type of magnetic materials can be expressed in the form of a matrix equation. It indicates how three components of B depend upon various components of H. Note both isotropic as well as anisotropic materials obey linearity. This is certain basic fundamental information pertaining to magnetic materials. Some more information we can have in the next session.